You're watching your local television network, TSPN, and now back to Today's Seniors Living Well with your host, Laurie Webb.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Today's Seniors Living Well. Make 2013 your lucky year. And we're going to be providing you with a lot of information to help you be luckier. Because Virginia and I feel we're very lucky to have this program going again and have some of our very special guests back again. Now this guest looks a little different than the last time you were here. You all recognize Tom Thompson, formerly from Raley's and now today to talk to us about the food bank. But Tom, the last time you were here you had
more hair.
More hair. Yeah. Well, white hair and a white beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were our Santa Claus.
I think that was my first retirement job, I think. I'm not sure. Pretty close, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virginia called me up and asked if I could come on the show as Santa, and when she calls...
You do it.
You just do it. You know, you don't say no. It's like Susie, you know, when she says, I need you, you go.
Go. So, yeah, you were at Raley's for many years, and everybody was like, oh, no, Tom's gone. Yeah. But you left a good legacy there, and I think things are carrying on.
Good.
And then you were retired for a little while.
Yeah, about 5 months.
And having a good time.
I was having a really good time.
You and
the house was nice and clean. Chris was happy.
Now, Chris is still working, right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So you were the house husband.
Yes, I was.
So then what happened?
One day we saw the ad the food bank had put out, the Interfaith Council put out, looking for a executive director, and I looked at Chris, she looked at me, and it was like, whoa, this can't be happening, because, you know, the food bank, as you're fully aware, is, excuse me, very passionate about, you know, the whole time I was working for Raley's up here for 14 years, and totally involved with them, and this was kind of like a dream come true. I knew I'd go back to work sooner or later anyway, just after I'd taken some time off, be able to have the holidays off and you know, weekends and not have to do all that stuff. Well, that didn't happen. You know, holidays is when you're most needed at the food bank,
right.
and weekends is when you're out in the community doing good stuff.
Reaching out,
yep.
Doing outreach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed, you know, after the initial shock, everyone was like, well, of course, he's the perfect person for that. Because, you know, Raley's was, like you said, when you were at Raley's, they were like kind of the food bank on some level. You provided so much outreach and stuff for them.
Well, working with Kathleen and we made a great pair. You know, it was really good. So.
So what have you discovered working as the executive director of the food bank?
Well, I've discovered that there are a lot of people in need in our community. Many of them are seniors. We did over 900 seniors last year, and we're doing 250 distribution bags to the seniors each, you know, twice a month, and it's just, you know, it's amazing that the need is out there, and then the fact that the volunteers, you know, the operation is totally volunteer. You know, that we have a few folks that are that are paid part-time, and they're involved to take care of the behind-the-scenes stuff, but totally a senior volunteer organization.
Most of your volunteers are seniors because they have
yeah.
my husband is one of your volunteers.
And he's a good one.
He loves it.
Yeah. And
he loves it.
With the great finds at the thrift store, the volunteers that work over there, that the thrift store itself, you know, contribute over $40,000 last year to the food bank. Their sole purpose is to contribute to the food bank. But again, it's a total volunteer deal.
Totally run by just volunteers.
1 hour, 2 hours, 2 or 3 times a week, 1 day a week. You call it, you make it. But a lot of the volunteers enjoy it. They get out and spend a little time outside of the house doing a little bit of this, a little of that. So it's a good opportunity.
Yeah. Now, my husband drives truck 1 day a week, goes around and collects food, but once a month he does one of those food distributions, and I know that there's folks that volunteer in the front office doing intakes.
Yes. Yeah.
And people that work in the warehouse.
We have warehouse workers. The clients come in. They're met by a receptionist. We have a volunteer receptionist team. Then they go into the intake office where they check in, basically review their needs. They fill out their shopping list. The shopping list gets taken back to the warehouse. The warehouse volunteers fill that shopping list, and then a volunteer brings it out and takes it out to their car for them. And again, like I said, the volunteer is huge. We had over 20,000 hours of volunteer hours last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And people can kind of tailor the volunteer task to their physical abilities and their personality. It's really a wonderful opportunity.
We talk about the intake. We talk about the input. You know, the intake is basically reviewing the client information. It's simple. You know, it's minimal, very minimal computer work. So it's not something to be afraid of. If I don't know how to use a computer, you know, you can learn
that program.
And then the same thing with the input, where we just keep track of all the information that comes in, how many visits and donor information and things like that. So.
And I know my husband got very well trained on the driving part. I mean, he went out. Well, I guess sometimes you always send 2 drivers out just to.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah, it's not an easy job. I try to have 2 guys, two people go out at a time, because they do have to do some lifting and when they glean the food from all our vendor partners.
Right, and there's a lot of them. He was surprised.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, the county is very generous that way.
Very, in a big way.
And yet you still have to raise funds. So do you have any fundraising events coming up, or?
We do. We're having a mystery dinner on April 20th.
Oh my goodness! Yes, talk about that.
It's coming up soon. We have a few tickets left. It's going to be held at Tommy's. It is a fundraiser for us. There'll be a raffle and a silent auction. Tickets are $55 each, or you can get a group of friends together and purchase a table for $400.
How many to a table? 8?
8 to a table.
8 to a table.
Yeah. We'll have it'll be a filet mignon dinner served by volunteers, and or a vegetarian alternative.
Option.
Yeah. It'd be no host wine and beer, and should be a fun night. It'll be the Volcano Theater Group, as you are aware, does an outstanding job on this. Beth Bernard wrote the story for us, and that her group will do the acting. And if you haven't been to a murder mystery dinner, it's a lot of fun. It's a whodunit, and you're just sitting around your table trying to figure out who done it.
Yeah. Who's in this group that I've never been to one, but I know that a lot of my colleagues at United Home Care went to a mystery dinner, and they were just like, oh, you should have been there.
Yeah.
So again, that's April 20th.
April 20th.
And the tickets are available.
You can call me at the food bank 267-9006, or you can get them at Tommy's.
Okay.
This is our first big fundraiser of the year. You know, funding is a little slow. You know, the first part of the year, so we're using this to kind of fill some gaps.
Kick things off.
Yeah. And we've got the Breath of Broadway and Beyond coming up in June, 8th and 9th, which is another great event for us. And so, again, the community is just, amazing support to the food bank in a lot of ways. Volunteer hours, and people, I know food,
a lot of people that bring bags of food in, like when you get that buy one, get one free. Put one of the free ones in the bag and take it, and you need bags
we
too,
need
right?
Bags. I was just going to say,
paper bags.
Paper bags, plastic bags, the T-shirt bags. We use those for produce distribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
As many as we can get.
Tom, thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
good luck in your new career.
Hey, yes.
We know that you're going to bring a lot of wonderful skills to the already wonderful background.
There is definitely life after Rayleigh's. So.
Life after Rayleigh's. Wonderful. All right, well, stay here with me. I think we're bringing on the crowd for the crowd.
Hey, surrounded by women.
I love it.
Sorry, Chris.
Hey, Virginia.
I'm
pull
back.
the first one off. Good girl.
Yes, it's been a great show again. We just thank you, guests, and our wonderful community helpers.
Yes, and we found out about some things coming up, like the mystery dinner and the pageant.
Yes.
And
Oh,
You know
and
what I
Annie just
forgot?
asked me to co-host the beauty pageant.
Oh,
Yes,
Rich
indeed, with Rich
wow.
Hoffman.
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
I think
it's a
I'm going to
community
do that.
thing.
Excellent.
And then we've got
Excellent.
the Take Back Drugs. Don't forget the Take Back
The
Drugs.
Take Back the Drugs on the 27th.
Get
We can
rid of
talk
your old
about that.
prescriptions.
Yeah, I'll
Good.
talk about that next week for sure. And I promise next week I'll bring C's candy.
And buy new ones with the RX card.
There you go.
go.
Oh, John, you're good. You're
There's
good.
more cards too, weren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I've got
Food bank.
a case
Okay.
of them.
So,
You do so well with that.
Annie, you
Excellent.
want to give one little quick last pitch for
Yes.
sponsors and
Yes, please.
contestants?
Our upcoming Miss Senior Citizens Beauty Pageant. Call for information, 223-3015.
It'll be a good
Great.
dinner, too.
It's going to be
huh?
a wonderful dinner.
Great. And John, any last minute
If
things
you
about
if you need to reach me, you can always reach me at 223-6491. That's my office line, and we can certainly use all the volunteers in the way of mentoring and tutors that we can get for the Community College Foundation and our efforts for those online classes. So
Yeah,
please give me a call again, 223-6491.
great.
And do you still need volunteers over at your administration building to greet people when they come in and
we've
help
got
direct
that,
them?
No, we've got that pretty well covered
Have you?
right now.
Good,
But we
good.
can certainly use volunteers in this community, are needed everywhere and very
Everywhere.
generous in
Absolutely.
everywhere they are.
Absolutely.
And if they wanted to just find out about volunteer opportunities in the county, could they just call their supervisor? and
Absolutely.
see- Because I know,
Absolutely.
you know, all of the supervisors are involved in various philanthropic and service opportunities.
Yes.
So,
Well, and also some of the committees. Sometimes
Right, yeah, like-
positions
oh,
come
the
up and you
Commission
may
on
be
Aging?
retired. Yes, like Commission on
Right.
Aging. You
District
might be
1 needs
retired.
somebody for a Commission on Aging appointment.
Yes, and we
too.
would love to have another member of
somebody
Commission on
from
Aging.
Supervisor Plass's district needs to get on the commission. We have one seat left
Yes,
there.
yes.
And then Tom, quickly again about the mystery dinner.
Mystery Dinner's April 20th.
Oh, those are fun.
There's be at Tommy's Banquet
Oh,
Hall.
wow.
It'll be at 6:30 dinner and go till 9 o'clock. It'll be a lot of fun. Thinking about volunteering, think about the food bank, the Grapevines thrift store. There's a great deal of opportunities there to help out, and it all supports the
Great
food bank.
training and great supervision. I can vouch for that.
And
So we'll
great
be
shopping.
back next week, folks. Tune in again. We'll have all kinds of
Thank you.
exciting guests.
It's
And-
just been great, and we thank you again.
Thank you so
It's
much.
our pleasure.
Bye. See you
Thank
next
you.
week.